Hey, my man, what does it look like? What it looks like is hot soup here for the top five sits for week 8. That's right. Yeah. Do not set your lineups until you hear these top five sits. It's facts, no feelings this week. Oh, soupy. Coming to you right now live for our top five sits for week 8. Number 1. And he was on my top 5 sit list last week, and he burnt my ass so bad. I said, you know what? I'm about to prove your little ass wrong. That's right. Little bitty, itty bitty, itty bitty Kyler Murray. Ooh, versus Miami. He got to go see Ramsey this week. That's right. Kyler Murray going against Miami, ranked number 1 in passing yards given up. These fools only give up 150 yards per game, average. After all these games we done played this year, and all they giving up is 154. That's your boy Ramsey over there holding it down. In the last 3 games, they've only given up 126 yards average. What y'all think Kyler Murray gonna do? Kyler Murray is only averaging 150 passing yards in the past 4 games, averaging. Do y'all just not hear them statistics? They're only giving up 150 yards. In the past 4 games, Kyler Murray's only passing for 150 yards. What's that tell you he gonna pass for? I'm gonna give him some love and give him about 190 this week. But 150 is all we really need to fucking honor it for. And 150 is all we really need to honor him for. Hey, man, you heard it from the soup. Kyler Murray is going to be running the ball. They got to run the ball if they want to do anything against Miami's defense. Hey, man, listen. I'm not saying Kyler Murray's not a good player. All I'm saying is bench his ass in week 8. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just laughing. Funniest shit ever happened this week. So I'm in this league, right? And we're about to go over this number 2 top sit that you gotta sit this week, man. His name is Dionte Johnson. But I have a backstory with this, okay? There's more to this and why I'm picking this guy. All right. So I'm in a league, man. Bunch of my college boys I went to college with, 10-man league. I won it last year. That's me on there, 2023. Hot Soup was the winner. This is a guy that played football, and he swears he has football knowledge. One of my best friends, man. We've been betting all year long, been popping his hips. This guy drafted first 4 picks: Mike Evans, Puka Nacua, Baker Mayfield, and Matthew Stafford. And he named his team Double Penetration. And I'm not even going to explain the picture on what we see every time we see this guy's team logo, man, because he has quarterback receiver combo, and it's a super flex league, so you can start 2 QBs, right? So, okay, understandable, but why not go get a better QB, right? He went and picked up 2 guys that were on the waiver wire when the season started, but we're not going to talk about that. He also picked up about 4 or 5 players on his team drafted that were on the waiver wire on anybody else's league, just hanging out on the waiver wire. And we try to tell this guy, your team is trash. Your team is trash. And in his mind, psychologically, he knows his team is good, right? So this week, he needs a quarterback bad. Stafford's been putting up no points for him. And he's like, oh, Andy Dalton. I'm going to get Andy Dalton, and I'm going to trade for Andy Dalton and Dionte Johnson. And I'm going to give up Kareem Hunt and Aiden O'Connell, right? And the guy that's trading them is in our league is a actual sports analyst, and he gets all this information before anybody else gets it, right? So he poses this trade, and Bino accepts the trade. So Bino gets Dionte Johnson and he gets Andy Dalton. But what he doesn't realize is Andy Dalton is about to get benched. About 30 minutes later, Chris sends a picture to our group chat. Andy Dalton is getting benched for Bryce Young. Ooh. And him giving up Kareem Hunt was like giving we don't know when Christian McCaffrey may never even come back. Hosed. Now, Dionte Johnson with Andy Dalton would have been a win. He was in desperation mode. He needed a quarterback, but ended up getting stiffed. Not only, Coley, did you get stiffed, you try to make it seem like Bryce Young is going to be great and bets me $100 that Bryce Young is going to be a top 10 QB from week 8 to week 14. Oh my God. Bet. Number 2 pick this week, Dionte Johnson. Bench him. Why are we going to bench Dionte Johnson this week? Number 1, he has to see Denver, who is ranked 2nd overall right now against the receiver. All right. Bryce Young, average in the 3 games that he played. Average. This is for you, Coley. Oh, this is strict. These statistics are strictly for you. I did this homework for you. Andy Dalton trade. Boy, you look like a whole sucker. This guy averaged 101 yards passing in his 3 games this year. 3 interceptions in 3 games. 0 TDs thrown in 3 games. Averaging 100 yards through the air in 3 games. You smoking them sherm sticks. Denver's defense, number 5 right now against the wide receiver. They're giving up 170 yards per game to quarterbacks, right? So they're number 5 in that statistic. Listen, man, in the games that Dionte Johnson played with Bryce Young, he averaged 6 targets, 2.8 receptions, and 19 yards with 0 touchdowns. In 3 games, that was his he averaged 19 yards. Dionte Johnson, in the 3 games he played with Andy Dalton, the trade you thought you got, he averaged 94 yards receiving off of 12 targets, 7 receptions, and a touchdown. That man averaged a touchdown with Andy Dalton. He averages 19 yards with Bryce Young. Boy, you got robbed out in front of liquor store with the FBI outside, all the cameras, starter pistol from a track meet. Yeah, no mask. Dionte Johnson will be the star in week 8 in the smash movie hit, The Invisible Man. Yeah, I said it. It's going to give you A. And this is me throwing Dionte Johnson a little love. 9 targets, 5 receptions, 47 yards, 7.2 fantasy points. Not the guy you want to start in week 8. Man, you heard it from the soup. Our third player that you must sit in week 8 is going to be Mr. Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard is going against Detroit, ranked 2nd versus the running back this year. That's right, man. They ain't giving up no points to no running backs. They ain't giving up no touchdowns like that. There is one team that put up a lot of yards. Mr. Walker over in Seattle put up 116 yards and 3 TDs. Anybody else? LA Rams. Kyron Williams put up 50 yards. Tampa Bay put up 23 yards. That was Mr. White. Over in Arizona, James Conner. They shut James Conner down to 25 yards in week 3. Oh, my God. Dallas, McDoodle, man, Poodle, whatever the hell his name is, 55 yards total. Minnesota. Now, Aaron Jones did throw up 93 on their head, but right now they are ranked number 5 in the NFL in yardage given up. They have only given up 92 yards per game. They just benched Levis, right? D-Hop is gone, so they're going to see stacked boxes in Tennessee. It's going to be lots of running game, a lot of running the clock for Detroit, in my opinion. I think Detroit's going to be running it down Tennessee throat. That's going to take the time away from Tony Pollard getting any work at all. Only 2 running backs to get off against this defense were high-powered offenses. Tennessee is one of the worst offenses in the league. They had to bench their starting quarterback. They are terrible right now. They lost D-Hop. Calvin Ridley is a shell of himself. This offense is going nowhere. Tony Pollard, 18 touches, 69 yards, 8.4 fantasy points. That's it. Man, you heard me. Bench him, set it, and forget it. Our number 4 player that you must bench in week 8, he's been my 2nd time seeing this guy on a sit list, Sam LaPorta. Over there in Detroit going against Tennessee, ranked 2nd versus the tight end. Let me tell you what they've done. Shut Kmet down to 4 yards. Shut Conklin down to 10 yards. Shut Kraft down to 24 yards. No yards for Jonnu Smith in Miami. Indianapolis, I think it was Mo Alley Cox, 41 yards. Buffalo, Kincaid put up 52 yards. That was the most yardage put up was by Kincaid. And Kincaid had to be a top target. Why? Because Josh Allen ain't had no damn receivers. Man, you heard it from the soup. Listen, Sam LaPorta in year 2024, this year, when y'all were drafting him to be the number one, is the number 20 overall tight end in 2024. There are 19 tight ends better than Sam LaPorta. He has had one TD all year long. Detroit got way too many options, and they're going to be running the ball all day, like I said earlier, in this offense, in this game this week. In the past 2 games, this man has 2 receptions off 3 targets. In week 8, you start Sam LaPorta, and he's going to short you. Yeah. And our 5th player that you must sit this week, I hate to say it because I got to sit him. I told y'all, when I say sit him, I'm sitting they ass too. Marvin Harrison Jr. That's right, versus Miami. He got to go see Ramsey this week. And Miami, remember, only giving up 151 passing yards total per game in 2024. They've only given up 2 TDs to wide receiver ones. Hey, Harrison is the wide receiver 1 over for the Cardinals. With that said, the last 3 games, this man has averaged 5 targets, 1.8 receptions, and 19 yards. That's it. Listen, you're better off starting his dad versus Ramsey in week 8, man. Y'all heard it from the soup. Yeah. Marvin Harrison Jr. in week 8, 8 targets, 4 receptions, 51 yards. That's it. 7.1 fantasy points. He will fall outside the top 20, man. Y'all heard it from the soup. Those are our top 5 sits for week 8. Go check us out for our top 5 starts for week 8. Like and subscribe. Find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. It's your boy Soup, man, and I'm out.